If you're a maintenance supervisor for a commercial property, you've had to deal with everything from leaky faucets to flickering light bulbs. But nothing's worse than that ancient boiler that's lived in the building since the day it was built, 50 years ago. It's enough to make anyone lose their cool. That's where Grainger comes in. With industrial-grade products and dependable fast delivery, Grainger can help with any challenge, from worn-out components to everyday necessities. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Thank you guys for holding space for Potted Together today. Sorry.
Why?
Have you seen the meme about Wicked, the holding space with the lyrics of Defying Gravity?
Oh, yeah.
Anyway.
Wait, no. I gotta go look it up.
Welcome to Potted Together. My name is Adam, and I'm joined
Pot
as
together.
Always. I know. I just said it really fast, but you know what? Respectfully. Well, Becca's here, obviously.
Yeah. What does that mean? Oh, because I keep chatting. I'm sorry.
She wasn't, and you weren't introduced yet, Becca.
No. Becca and Nicole are. That is my favorite Becca laugh out of all the iterations of your laugh. Like, that is it, because I've told you this before, but it's like some sort of like core memory of like a squeezed doll that had like a smiley face that you just made it laugh, and you have the exact laugh of that doll.
It's the most involuntary laugh I have, probably, because I can't even replicate it. So
yeah. Oh, I love it. Anyway, today we're going to chat about what we think the future of houseplants is going to be on this final topic episode of the entire series of Potted Together.
Oh, that stings.
It's a bit emotion.
It does feel weird, doesn't it?
Oh, you had to bring it early in the episode, didn't you?
I need to play some vitamin C. As we go on,
we remember. Friends forever.
My favorite part of Scary Movie was like, will you just shut the fuck up and let me sing?
Oh my god, I haven't seen that in so long.
God, that's such a good movie. Anyway, but we're gonna catch up. It's Thanksgiving week. Becca's recording out of a car.
Yeah, it's the day before Thanksgiving, actually.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
I'm thankful for you guys.
Ditto.
I'm thankful for you guys. Yeah. It's a nice respite to have a moment to chat with friends in this otherwise very busy time. So
yeah.
Thank you for holding space for this.
Okay, I have to see it. I have to see the TikTok.
Yeah.
Show it to me, Rachel.
Show me to me. Anywho, what have you guys been up to? Anyone want to take the lead on the update?
Well, I cleaned a turkey this morning. Okay, prepping it for tomorrow. And I plucked like 3 feathers out of it. Okay, here's my question.
No.
Do you guys, you guys don't.
Did you see the Butterball video that resurfaced from 2006?
I didn't.
Butterball.
Apparently, there is a video. Peter released it again this year from Butterball from 2006. It was filmed, and there was somebody sexually assaulting a turkey.
Oh God!
A human.
Get the fuck
buttered.
up. No.
Yeah.
Oh.
And so then I saw that article. And then I opened up my Instagram, and here's Nicole being like, "All right, Butterball, what are you doing with these goddamn feathers?"
No.
Yeah, and I was
listen.
like, "I think the feathers are the least of your worry." Cleaning the inside of that turkey.
Yeah.
How though?
It's a humbling experience.
Here's what I don't understand is when things like that get degraded, it's like it's a gaping hole.
Oh no, it was a live turkey.
That makes it so horrible. Anyway,
yeah, it's bad. But I don't know. Okay, again, don't have all the facts.
What?
It is an old video that resurfaced this year, and is there penetration? I don't know. I don't think so. Like, it was like a funny little like, you know.
Oh.
I didn't watch the whole thing.
It's hilarious to degrade animals.
So funny.
So fucking funny. Lock them up, throw away the goddamn key. You know?
Literally so fucked up. So while you're
Anyway,
stuffing the
sorry.
stuffing in that turkey this year, keep that in mind. No, you know what concept I think is so fucked up? A turduncan. You ever heard of that?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
You shove a
all of us
chicken.
millennials have.
You shove a chicken in a duck, and you shove the duck that's stuffed with a chicken into a turkey. Like, can you imagine that?
I don't think that you would need a pretty large turkey. We're talking 25-pounder.
Your turkey looked pretty big today, Nicole.
It's only 14 pounds.
That hole looked gaping.
She's a babe.
Gaping hole.
She's been around. She's been around.
Have you always been on turkey duty, Nicole?
Yeah.
That's
my entire adult life for the most part.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Stressy.
That's somebody who has their shit together. No one would ever fucking trust me to cook a turkey. Just saying.
I enjoy it. I think it's
Lie in it. Nicole, are you a turkey bag girl?
Oh, absolutely not. Those people can't be trusted. I'm just kidding. I've never cooked a turkey in a bag.
I don't even know. I don't eat the turkey. I eat the ham.
Oh, you don't? Okay. We do ham on Christmas.
Okay, see, my family has always done turkey and ham.
Mine too.
And it just, I feel like they need to stick with one meat because then I just want the ham because I love ham. I love the salty ham.
Me too. Love a ham.
Ooh.
Also, but the dark turkey meat.
Oh, that's my favorite too.
I don't like looking at it though. That's the thing. It's like when it's all together, like the light and the dark, I always think something's wrong with the dark. I'm like,
oh,
that ain't right.
Oh, like that ain't right. It's supposed to be white meat.
When the meat looks a little dark.
Because the parts of like when you're eating chicken and things are just like a weird color. I don't like it.
Yes.
That's why I don't eat chicken
I know
off
what
a
you're
bone.
saying.
Yeah.
Like it just,
I like dark chicken meat too.
Oh, you guys, a couple weeks ago, I couldn't find pre-shredded rotisserie chicken. And I was like, oh, well, it's expensive anyway, so let me just buy a rotisserie chicken. And I have picked I can't even say this. My chest is getting heavy as I say it. I have picked off the meat from a rotisserie chicken before, but I did it that a couple weeks ago, and I will never, ever, ever do that again. I don't care how much money I save.
Really?
I will never do it again. Like, just I just kept picturing its body. I don't know if I have seen chickens more often since then, like alive. But like the bones, like I can't.
Okay.
I can't do it.
It's not my favorite thing. It's not my favorite thing to do. As a matter of fact, I think the last time Bree visited, we had chicken tacos, and she deboned the chicken for me, like the queen that she is.
Yeah.
It's not my favorite thing to do. But here's the thing, circling back to the turkey, okay, because I got to talk about these feathers. People don't know. Like my mom, I texted my mom and I was like, only 3 feathers this year. We're making progress. Because last year I was in there with the tweezers pulling feathers out of this turkey. And she tells me, in 45 years of me cooking a turkey, never have I ever seen a feather. And I was like, well, then we were eating feathers, because there's no way that they could get all of the feathers out of the bird. You gotta pluck them out.
I need to move on.
It's the same thing.
We need to move on.
So turkey's brining.
Turkey's in the fridge. She's
Sorry,
I am no longer holding space for turkey talk.
I can't. Let's talk about mashed potatoes. Potatoes never did anything wrong.
Oh, okay. Well, let's talk about our favorite Thanksgiving sides. I'm pretty sure we did this last year, didn't we?
Okay, but maybe it changed. Maybe it changed.
Maybe.
No. I always am going to be a mashed potatoes gal, and I want it chunky, and I want the skin in it.
Oh, do you want the gravy on the mashed
wants
potatoes?
The feathers on those potatoes.
I want my potatoes feathered. No, but listen, here's something that I've deviated from the way my mom cooks in this way that my mom skins everything. I do not skin anything. I never do.
My mom does too. I prefer like a raw dog potato. I
Yeah.
really do, because that's where the vitamins are. It's in the skin.
Yes. Okay, but see, is that true or is that just a myth that our parents gave us?
Well, I'm gonna say it's true, but I have not done my research. Should we Google it real quick?
Miss
I think-
Robot.
Yeah.
Also-
I think you need to turn your Wi-Fi off, Nicole.
Oh, my bad. Hold on. Okay, is it better?
Yeah.
We'll see.
Nicole.
Yeah.
While we're on the
Becca
topic
and I
of
are
false
just, like,
information.
looking at you shaking your heads. Yeah. Did not get one fucking word that you said.
Oh, all right. I'll say it again. God damn it. The people heard. I said that I'm going to say it's true, but I have not done my research. And then I was saying on the topic of false information, we recorded a BYC episode yesterday for Patreon, and we were definitely talking about the Wicked cast members and how Cynthia was paid much less than Ariana, and that's been debunked.
Yeah.
So if you're a Patreon and you've listened to that episode yesterday or today before this goes live.
I'll insert a little fact check.
Okay, good. Because I was like, literally as soon as we hung up, Adam sent me a video and I was like, well, there goes that episode. And then I saw it like on the actual news. So it must have been like some big thing. People were really just false.
So did they get paid the same?
False
They both
info.
got 12 mil?
They got paid the same.
okay.
I don't know how much they got paid.
But they got the same. Is what-
See,
They got the same.
Universal
that
said.
makes sense. They were both leads in this great big movie.
Yes.
Yeah. That makes sense. I cannot imagine a world where Ariana, being of sound mind and spirit, would be like, yeah, I'll take 12 times the amount that my co-star that did probably more work than me.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay, guys, ready? So potato skins contain vitamins and minerals, including vitamin C, potassium, and fiber. So yes, correct. Don't peel your potatoes.
Okay, but you
Wash 'em.
scrub them, right? We scrub them.
You scrub them. We scrub. We're scrubbing them. We're washing them. We're not peeling them.
Yeah. I used to not like...
Fuck off.
To wash vegetables?
Yeah, I used to like not... No, I'm just laughing. I'm just laughing because I just watched Becca mouth fuck off to Daniel. I'm guessing it was Daniel.
No, that was my mother-in-law. No, it was Daniel. I love
see
my
her handing
mother-in-law.
a diaper across, and then I just hear "fuck off."
No, he comes out to the door, of course. He has to interrupt. And he goes, Nora pooped. Can I get a diaper? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, unless you want to change it. As a joke. I'm obviously not going to change it.
So good.
Fuck off, Dan.
Okay, so
So I missed
yeah,
it. So the skin does actually have the good shit.
it does.
It does.
Yeah.
Vitamin C, fiber.
I saw a little thing today
minerals.
where they say you shouldn't cook your potatoes in water. You should use milk because starch comes out of your potatoes and that's all the goodness. And then the milk will just be like the replacement for heavy cream once you start like mashing them. And they looked real fluffy. And I was like, oh, okay.
That is a lot of milk to boil your potatoes in. That's like 2 gallons.
That's, you know, the economy that we're in right
That's
now.
true.
You know the price of milk.
Yeah.
Wait,
Press the milk.
speaking of milk,
I wouldn't know, but
raw milk have you guys seen this?
Oh, I can't.
it's raging.
Raw milk
It's
is having a
raging.
moment, and I saw a video on TikTok of this woman pouring it in, and it was like lumps falling in, and then she
Yes, I've
frothed
seen
it up,
it.
but I was like,
Have you seen the
I would
raw
not
milk
like
under a
that.
microscope?
I can't even eat cottage cheese. Like I've never been able to.
Oh, I love cottage cheese. Love it. But have you seen the video of the raw milk under a microscope?
mm-mm. Was just
It's
full of
all you need to
bacteria?
see. Oh, there's tons. There's like, I mean, it looks like full on worms.
Yeah.
That's how big this bacteria is. It's disgusting.
I could never. No. I'm sorry. Listen, I'm not trying to divide a nation here, but I would never.
It's already divided.
And I will judge. Pasteurization is just heating the milk. Like it's literally just heating it
yeah.
up.
Just do it.
Come on, guys.
Do it.
Oh,
Listeria is
my
very
God.
serious and painful, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Can I tell a joke about pasteurization?
Sure.
No.
I can imagine.
It's a blonde joke, so I'm sorry.
Oh, it's a blonde joke. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
So like, are we still doing those or no?
I mean,
I can't see.
I'm from the 90s.
Okay.
I could take it.
Okay.
I could take it.
So this beautiful blonde woman reads in one of her magazines that it's really good for your skin to just bathe in milk. So she writes a little note to her milkman and says, like, I need this many quarts of milk. The milkman arrives, sees the note, and was like, this has to be wrong. And so he knocks on the door and he's like, ma'am, like, I see what you want, but I just don't think that that's right. And she was like, no, that's right. I just read in an article that if you bathe in milk, it really helps your skin. And I've just been dealing with some issues and I want to try it. And he goes, oh, okay. Well, would you like it pasteurized? And she goes, oh no, just up to my tits. I'll splash it past my eyes. Anyway.
Just pasteurized.
Every time I hear that word, I think of that joke. And I'm probably not even telling it right, but it cracks me
That
up.
sounded right.
That's funny.
That's funny.
And if someone doesn't want to make a blonde joke, they could just, I guess no, because it's a blonde joke. Because the blonde jokes are about blondes being dumb. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's funny. Pasteurized. No, I'll just splash it up. Just up to my tits.
Just up to my tits.
Yeah, I think the tits
Oh my God.
The tits is key for that joke, for that punchline.
Yeah.
If I said boobies, it would have been completely different.
Boobies.
But pasteurized, I'm dead.
Wow,
Anywho.
thank you so much for that insight. So what is your has your Thanksgiving side preference changed?
Oh,
Yeah, mine
that's
has.
Right. Yep. Mine has not.
I'm a Brussels sprout girl. I'm a crispy Brussels sprout girl with a little bit of hot honey.
Okay, explain the process of cooking those. When when you're preparing them, you just kind of schleef them off, or you cut it.
Yeah, it's very
and then crumble, and then just put it on a baking sheet.
So you could do it both. You could do it that way too, but I prefer them to not have like little flakes everywhere because they burn. Because you have to cook them at a pretty high temp to get them crispy, like the whole Brussels sprout. So I cut the little nubbin off that's attached to the stalk, and then I cut the Brussels sprout in half so that you can open it up and see all the layers. And then you just drizzle it with like avocado oil with some like heavy sea salt. Oh, delish. 425 degrees in the oven for like 20 minutes. Delicious. Sprinkle it with drizzle with a little hot honey.
Also balsamic.
Wow.
Or balsamic if you're a balsamic girl. Yes.
Yeah.
That sounds really good.
Never in my life have I cooked Brussels sprouts other than boiled them.
They're very high in fiber, so you may be a little gassy afterwards. So just
I feel like boiled is
keep
like
that in mind.
okay, not to hate on your boiled Brussels sprouts, but I feel like boiling is like would make them gross and like soggy.
Literally, we only ate vegetables that were microwaved or boiled growing up, which is why I hated Brussels sprouts. I hate peas and lima beans. Like all of these things, I just...
Ooh.
Really?
But-
Okay,
oh,
but
you need to
frozen?
come over.
I like Brussels
I'll make
sprouts
you like
now,
vegetables.
but I don't think I'll ever like peas or lima beans. It's a texture thing that I will never get over.
Peas are gross.
okay.
I agree with you there.
I love peas. So pot pie, like you can't eat a pot pie?
I could eat it like that, but like I'm not eating a side of peas where I'm shoveling them in my mouth with a bowl.
Okay.
A spoon, you know?
Got it.
Yeah. The frozen vegetables, like after they've been steamed, in my experience, there's a flavor that is not the veg. And I can't do it.
Yeah.
But if it's in a casserole, it gets covered up.
Yeah.
But I made some steamed vegetables that were frozen for Nora, and I was like, oh, thank God she has no idea, because these are really weird.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember, and my stepdad was so controlling that it was like, you have to eat you have to clean your plate before you're able to leave. Like mommy dearest vibes were, so I would just like wait to the last bit, shove all of the lima beans in my mouth. Then it'd be like, well, going out to play. And I had chipmunked them. And then I spit them out when I got out to the road.
You didn't want to eat that raw steak. You weren't going to eat it.
No.
That whole mindset of like being forced, I just don't understand, because my family was like that too. We had to finish our plates before we could get up, and I would sit there for hours, like, because I'm like, I am full. Like, I don't want to keep eating.
I'm shocked you guys don't have like food trauma from that.
Oh, I probably do.
I probably do as well, because I was like really hesitant, because I'm starting to eat in calorie deficit. And I was really scared about how it would make me feel counting calories, because I do feel like I have a little bit of a controlling vibe in most things in my life. And like, I didn't want me, because yesterday we were kind of shit out of luck with food, and like I had to eat McDonald's, and I was literally crying driving through the drive-thru. I'm like, Becky, like, you have to fucking let it go. Like, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah. But like, once I get on a groove, I'm like so militant, and that's why I was always hesitant, because I didn't want it to turn into never being able to stray from it. And I don't know if that comes from childhood things or just my personality.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of both.
Yeah, but I ordered a Big Mac, and guess what I got? They messed up our order. I got a 4-piece chicken nugget and a McChicken. And cold fries.
The universe is on your side.
Cold fries.
Like, cold fries. I gave Daniel the McChicken. I had the 4-piece, and I stayed within a little bit of my range, but I was really hungry after.
A time where you guys were like, remember the last time that McDonald's was consumed in this family?
See, Daniel didn't order something, and I was like, wait, are you not hungry? And he was like, no. And then today I was like, oh. And he was like, yeah, I didn't want to talk about it. And I was like, oh. Well, you know what? That makes sense. And I'm sorry that I put you through that. But I was like hangry. I was like, get somewhere.
I know that. The thing is, Steve now sometimes was like, are you hungry? If I'm like snippy, and that's like asking, are you on your period? I'm just like,
yes, it is.
Fucking...
Same family. Yeah. Oh man.
Same energy.
I have found since I've been on this little health journey, if you will, I have found that like most fast food places, you can substitute for like a healthier option. Like, you know, the meat's not the best, but it is beef. So like if you're trying to get your protein in, you can always just take like half the bun off.
Yeah.
It'll cut the calories big time. Like stuff like that. Like you can modify, you know,
that's
if you're
the crazy thing
I
is like
can't.
bread. I did not know that bread was so calorie dense. And not to talk about this a lot, but I was like putting in my little sandwich for when I have my lunch, and I was like, huh? 230 calories for 2 slices of bread? You're kidding me.
I have to send you the bread. I have to send you the bread I eat.
Okay.
Because it's a game changer.
Yeah, me
if you're
too.
A sandwich
because
girl.
we use keto-friendly bread because keto-friendly doesn't have sugar, but I hate it. I hate the taste of it.
That's the one. That's the one we use.
See, the thing is, if I taste too much of the McDonald's meat, like I can't cut the bread, because if I taste too much meat, I'm grossed out. And even if it's beef, like I know. And then conversely, with the keto bread, if I taste too much bread, I'm like, ew, something is wrong with this bread.
Wait, okay, but how about sourdough? Because there's no sugar in sourdough.
There's not?
I have no fucking idea what I'm talking about, but I feel like
there
there's
has to be sugar in most bread, because that's what the yeast eats, is sugars.
I think there is sugar in sourdough. Sourdough is a healthier bread option, but it is still high in calories, so it's kind of hard.
Can't win.
Anyway, should we get into the topic?
Yeah, hold on. Stuffing is my favorite side. That hasn't changed.
Oh, that's right. Stuffing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Becca, you're a mashed potato. That's right. That's
dry
right.
stuffing. Like, if it's
not like sopping wet.
If it's mashed potato consistency, I'm pissed. That's gross.
Oh yeah,
I'm pissed. Too much.
Do you do fruit in your stuffing?
No.
Ooh, cranberries would be good in stuffing. I don't like stuffing, so I can't contribute to that. But
yeah,
I feel like cranberries might be good.
You know what? I never liked cranberries until I had them fresh one year at a Thanksgiving, because growing up it was always the can.
Jelly in the can.
Like, I hate Jell-O. Like, Jell-O texture makes me want to hurl. And all I see when I see that can slosh out is Jell-O, so I never tried it. And then I went to a Thanksgiving dinner, and someone boiled cranberries and added a little orange juice, and it was like turned into its own little. And I was obsessed. And I was like, cranberries are good.
Well, there goes that Jell-O of the Month club I got for you for Christmas. So,
fuck. Maybe that's what I should bring to the family Thanksgiving, because I need to ask my mother-in-law what she needs, but
Jell-O
they never
shots.
asked Daniel to do anything. Jell-O shots would be fun. They would like me.
Cranberry flavored.
Cranberry Jello shot.
Or apple cider Jello shots. Okay.
That's okay. If she tells me nothing, that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
And even if she
Yes.
doesn't, that's fun.
It takes a day to make them though, so prep for that.
Okay, I'll do it today.
But anyway, let's get into it, right? Are we ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's talk about the future of house plants.
So the chatter may be over for the main pod, but if you want a little more,
Check us out on Patreon. We have our first tier, which gets an extra long episode once a month along with a video component.
And then we have another tier which gets an extra chatty episode or mini-sode every single week.
we're so excited to keep the convo going. So head to patreon.com/poddedtogether to subscribe today.
At Arizona State University, we're bringing world-class education from our globally acclaimed faculty to you. Ranked #1 in innovation for 10 consecutive years and #2 among public universities for employability. ASU isn't just ahead of the curve, it's creating new paths to success. Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online, that's a degree better. Explore more than 300 undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
If you're a maintenance supervisor for a commercial property, you've had to deal with everything from leaky faucets to flickering light bulbs. But nothing's worse than that ancient boiler that's lived in the building since the day it was built, 50 years ago. It's enough to make anyone lose their cool. That's where Grainger comes in. With industrial-grade products and dependable fast delivery, Grainger can help with any challenge, from worn-out components to everyday necessities. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
On a more personal level, I think I will just say, like, sorry that I'm taking the first talking point, I guess, but
You're leading.
Go for
You're a
it.
leader.
the future of houseplants in my life, like I think we've said this before many times, but houseplants will always be in my life. I can't imagine not having plants in my house. I don't know to what degree they will always be in my life, but there will always be a plant in my space. And I won't ever have a space that doesn't have plants. I can't even picture that, but they've served a purpose in my life, and I just don't know if that purpose is still needing to be served, even though like they're still gonna have them.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of
Yes.
it's kind of hard to like really put into words, but I don't know.
Like imagine your house with 0 houseplants and how
I
sterile
would
that would
hate
feel.
it. I would hate it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It would be less cozy. I don't know. I get what you're saying though, because even when like I'm in the thick of it and I haven't watered anything in like 3 weeks and I have a million other things going on and I want to be like, why did I do this? I still love them, you know? And it's still like, I can't imagine. It's funny because sorry, I'm going to hijack this for a second if that's okay. I was filming a video. I filmed like some Instagram stories the other day and I was like, oh, should I do this? Should I do that? Literally that same night, Jay came home and we were talking about how we're so fed up with the fact that we can't move anything around in the basement because of the way that it's set up. Like our bedroom is just, it has to be one way or no way. And then like the living room, just how it's set up. If you live in a house like that, you know what I'm talking about. And we are both people that love to change up a room space every so often, and we have not since we moved here, and it's just been kind of like weighing on both of us. We literally took all the furniture out of the living room and was like, let's rearrange this whole space. And that included my plant wall. And I was in the middle of being like, because I was at the end of it, I was so frustrated because it wasn't like fitting anywhere, so I split them up. Like eventually I just split them up and I love how it looks now. I'll have to show you guys. But in that moment I was like, throw them all away. And he's like, you're not serious. And I was like, I want to throw them all away. Like I was having like a little mentee bee.
A teehee?
And a little teehee, mentee bee. And because I had snipped all of my zip ties because they were like super snug on the wires of the lighting, and I had to like separate, like take all the wires off of the lighting, and I was just fed up. And he was like, I honestly cannot see you not having any houseplants like ever again. And I was like, yeah, that's so true. Like in that moment I was like, wait, throw them away. No, wait. And then I was looking at all of them and I was like, okay, I could probably part with this one, but definitely not this one. And I was like, okay, I guess I don't mean that statement at all, you know?
Mm-hmm. I feel like plants for all of us served a purpose in our lives to like bring us out of a hole or to sustain us through something. And I mean, especially in your situation, Adam, and like you're in a much better place now. So it's like, what is that when it's like when a superhero is carrying when Spider-Man is carrying Mary Jane and it's time to put her down. And then you give a big sloppy wet kiss.
Upside down kiss.
Upside down.
Oof.
And then they
shoot me with your web, Spidey. No, but truly, like, and it was, plants in this community were so valuable, still are, but like you're right, like at a moment in my life, this is what helped me survive. And I'm sure that that's not a different story for like I'm sure that's a pretty common story for a lot of people, maybe not to that degree, but like you guys got into plants because I mean, it wasn't just because you were just like, oh, everyone likes plants, I'm gonna get into plants. Like something like pulled you there, and then we all met each other. We've created this space and it's been beautiful, and I am so grateful for every single moment of it. But I don't know if I know for a fact that they're just not going to be the same as they have always been, you know?
Right.
Because my feelings have changed. I don't really find joy in like searching for the latest, greatest thing. Like I'm content with what I have and I want to care for it. You know, this podcast was something we were all really excited about. And from the jump, it was never meant to be like, here, we're going to teach you about plants, even though all three of us, when we started this, we're all doing YouTube about plants. Like that wasn't what this was meant for. And after so many years of people just getting annoyed about it, even though I get it, expectations, like, I don't know, like we're multifaceted people, and I want to continue to be that kind of person in my life, and plants will be there in one of those facets. But but yeah, I don't know. Sorry, that went on a little tangent.
No, that's good.
That was good.
Yeah.
It's kind of like our friendship. Like I can honestly sit here and think about like us being friends and not remember a time when we weren't. Like even though I know there was so much time before we met each other that we didn't even know each other, but it just feels like I can't imagine my future without you guys in it. And it's kind of like the same thing with plants. Like I can't remember a time where my house didn't have a plant, even though it did. It's like, I don't know, you know?
That is wild to think about.
Yeah. Like it's so impactful that it just kind of blurs everything else. And life started when we met.
That's right. I mean, like truly though, in like a non-cheesy way, I feel like that's around the time my life started. Like I was finally able to be authentic, and like, you know, you guys are my first friends I've ever made in that space of like, this is, I'm presenting you the person that I want to be, and you guys liked me, and that's comforting.
Yeah. Very much so.
Anyway.
Yep. Yeah.
Yada yada.
Yeah.
Yada yada. I do imagine.
Episode.
Well, that's next week. Next week we cry. This week
we're strong.
Yeah.
This week we man up. Oh God. I do think that the future of like my houseplant collection may be a little bit minimized. Like I do find myself having an easier time letting go of plants. And this has probably been over like the past year or so, I would say. Letting go of plants that like, yeah, I do care about it, but it's had mealies like 3 times and it's causing me too much stress, or it's flopping too often and I can't get to watering it. Like I find myself it's easier just to get rid of it, whether that's giving it to someone or literally just throwing it in the trash, you know? So I think that like in the coming years, like within the next 2 years, probably we're going to be moving again. And I could see myself like really minimizing my collection because we're talking about moving to the city in a smaller space. So I think that that is going to be like a forceful thing that I'll have to do. But I'm glad I've been kind of like mentally prepping for that over the past year or so without knowing it, you know?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Totally. I feel similarly. Like I was thinking about my collection, and well, really just like how my collection has evolved since I moved to Missouri, and how having one room dedicated to plants has been really great for me to just have it all there and then not really have them anywhere else. I mean,
Yeah.
of course I like in the new house how I can have plants in my bathroom, but otherwise I just don't feel like I need to force it anymore to have plants like in the living room and like have all these grow lights and everything so that I can. It's just like I don't feel the need to force it if it's not naturally going to work. And I feel like a couple years ago, I would have tried to figure out a way to like get all these hanging grow lights and this and that and have like a really planty space. But I like having one dedicated room because it compartmentalizes the hobby, one. And two, I can make it look really beautiful without feeling cluttered, you know, because so much of my early plant collection was just like, how many can I have? Like, do you remember when it was like a flex to have like 300 plants?
Oh, yeah.
And there's still people.
It was like a.
Go ahead.
Sorry. I was just going to say it was like like people strived for that. Like the unboxings were out of control and I completely contributed to it.
Yeah.
It was like visiting a new plant shop every chance you got. That was the thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Totally. And that was just
overconsumption.
Yeah. That was just like the big boom of houseplants. And similar to what you guys said, like I don't feel sad letting go of plants anymore because, well, the access to plants is so different than what it was. So it's like, I know I'll be able to get this again. Like it's not going to be hard if I ever do feel like I want it again. So I feel like knowing that helps me a ton to not feel desperate, I guess, for houseplants. But I very much feel like my collection is going to stay the size that it is. Like I still very much enjoy my channel and collecting and all of that kind of stuff, but the same trajectory of just like this is a part of my life, it's not my whole life. Yeah, for sure. And you, like with your channel, like you implement so much more than shopping for houseplants. Like I can't even remember the last time you did an unboxing. So like you come up with ideas surrounding your current plant collection and how to like really enjoy the plants that you have or how to style the plants you have. And I think that that's important. I see a lot of YouTubers leaning that way too. Like the overconsumption thing is kind of dead. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And like I haven't had a wish list in years just because I haven't even really thought about it. Of course there's plants that I think are cool, but like if it's not really easily available, like I don't think I'll ever do another import. I just don't feel the need.
Yeah.
I mean, never say never, but at this point I'm like, I just don't feel the need to do that. And I'm just really enjoying what I have and like decorating and making it integrated into my like showroom kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I get that because like for us and the way that our brains think, like if you had plants everywhere in your house, like every time you saw a plant, you'd be like, think about all of the things you need to do with your plants. And it would just, you would never find respite from that. You would always just be like, oh, but there's a plant and that one needs water. And then these ones need water. It's like, I get it completely.
Yeah. It's nice to just shut the door.
Yeah.
Just be done with it. Yeah.
I get,
You know what's also nice is finding community and finding friends IRL, because I feel like #blessed that like I got so many plants from Brie when she was in the process of her move, and like because I admire her collection big time. I think we all do. And then like you guys just like sending each other plants every time we met up before, we would like bring each other something. It's nice to have friends that you can swap with, and then you're not, I don't know, shopping at big box stores for plants. I don't know, you know?
Yeah.
And they mean more. They mean more that way too.
Totally. And that's kind of how it started. So we're kind of going back to our origin stories of just wanting to meet people who do plants and sharing plants.
Yeah.
Which is special.
Very true.
Oh, I really want to get
is.
some social events going. I know I say that all the time, but it would just be really nice to just have like a little meetup with some local plant folks.
Yeah.
Okay, so
You can do a play off of that little garden party that you went to the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as far as future with houseplants, what do you guys feel like we're going to see scientifically out of houseplants? Because we have seen, and I don't know, I mean, I call it BS, but neoplants, no offense if someone took any sort of...
They sent me one.
They sent me one too.
And I'm
really?
I'm so curious about it. So I was like, okay, but I haven't agreed to do anything with it.
Yeah.
But I am just really curious about it.
Wait, say what it is.
So neoplants, it's basically a pothos that's supposedly supposed to be genetically modified to produce more air purifying. Is that right? And you have to give it this special food to do this, which that's where it feels scammy, because it's like you have to have this special food that you have to be on a subscription for, and you have to, and I was like, well, that's just fertilizer, I think.
At this point, just buy an air purifier. I don't know. Yeah, I was very back and forth about whether I thought it was a gimmick.
But here's where I struggle is that, well, I don't really know the science, so I'm not going to pretend to, but they have genetically modified crop. And I understand why, because crop is needed as, for food source, all of these things. So they're going to put efforts into genetically modifying those. And I do think the efforts to genetically modifying ornamentals is going to be happening too, because as we move into a world where air quality is getting worse and worse and all of these things, are we going to have scientists that are going to be like, okay, well, let's figure out how to make these trees clean up this air as quick as possible. I mean, and it can be done. They've genetically modified crops to be deterrent from pests or all of these other things. Of course they're going to figure it out. And I don't know what that future holds. I don't know if the neoplants is the thing, but I think it's showing us a direction that houseplants are going to be moving, I think.
I actually, that was not even on my radar. So I'm glad you brought that up, because that's a really interesting concept that one of the big draws of people have to houseplants is that it quote unquote cleans the air. It doesn't really, it's the soil. So they've genetically modified this specific plant to do it.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Okay, so I didn't realize that it was the plant. I thought it was the planter, and that really sucks because I think the plant died.
But the thing is, I don't know if it's the specific I don't know if it's a specific plant, because it seems like they're saying that they're the food that you give it is what is doing the stuff.
And okay, and when I was, my management was kind of, I feel bad, but they were doing a pass through because I was asking all these questions, and I was like, is there any way to actually measure if this is working? And they were like, yeah, but it's not really accessible to on a home to home basis. They can in a big lab, but there's no way really for me to measure if it's working or not. So I was like, that was also a point where I was like, well, I don't know then.
Well, yeah, because how can you recommend it if you don't really know if it's working or not? I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
On their website, it says that Neo PX is 30 times better than regular plants at capturing the most harmful indoor air pollutants, targeting specifically benzene, toluene, and xylene. I can't pronounce those. But it's supported by a study done in collaboration with Mines Telecom Institute. But okay, so they're testing these plants in their headquarters, and I guess the studies that come back from that determines whether they work or not. So I guess we should just assume that they do,
I guess,
based on those studies. But
if you're a trusting
it says
individual.
Here's me and Adam, and we're like, trust no one, Nicole. That's the difference between us.
It works.
No, and
it says it works. It has to work.
I want to think that way. I want to believe that it is real, because that would be really cool. That would be super awesome. It seems like these people's life work.
Yeah, it says that one plant covers 160 square feet of coverage in your home. But I'm like, okay, but plants get bigger. So as it gets bigger, because pothos grow out of control, then do you need less? I have a lot of questions.
Yeah, I don't know.
And could you take cuttings of that plant? and plant it in other places and use the fertilizer. So
share
then
it?
you have.
See,
Yeah.
the thing that gets me with this is the fertilizer, the having to be
Yeah.
subscription based, like sign up for monthly, like what?
Because if it's the fertilizer, then it's not just the plant.
Yeah, it's like in a combo thing. But I do think that obviously I think at some point this will be happening because
Me too.
it'll become a necessity for the human race, which is kind of just like terrifying to think about. But
Yeah.
you think about our crops, our apples. Apples have to have like a really hard frost, and most of the places our apples grow aren't getting those frosts anymore. So now they're like, okay, well, we have to figure out how to modify these apples so they don't need the frost to grow, so we can grow them
Yeah.
at higher temperatures. So
Yeah.
like, and I know again that is a crop, but
But it's
I
the
bet-
direction, like,
yeah,
it makes sense. Maybe this Neoplants is just like an early adopter. And so since they are kind of the first, everyone, including us, are like, I don't know about this. But 10 years
Yeah.
down the line, this could be standard.
yeah.
I don't know.
There was a Netflix episode with Tyler Thrasher. I sent it to you guys before this. I don't know if you had time to watch it, but I finished it right before we got on. And they were talking about, and this is from 2022, so people listening probably already saw this if you're a Tyler Thrasher fan, which we all are, I think. So there's this thing called CRISPR. Have you heard of CRISPR?
Oh yes, from Radiolab, which is
yes.
kind of terrifying. I have to be honest.
Yeah.
When you think about what they can do with CRISPR.
Yeah, I know. So they started this with crops, like you were saying, and now they're getting it to houseplants. But I guess it's you could purchase a kit on your own. But they were saying in this documentary that, and Tyler was even saying, it's like you have to be careful because somebody can create a plant that could be poisonous or invasive and like take over shit. It's like, well, that doesn't sound safe.
You're playing, yeah.
So, like,
you're playing God.
You're playing God, yeah.
So-
but they also
It's making a plant, like
Well, so
DIYing.
pretty.
CRISPR is like from my understanding, very basic, but the Radiolab episode is really good. If you guys ever want to search
Okay.
for a podcast episode, look for whatever the CRISPR episode is of Radiolab. But basically, this thing is able
Okay.
to edit genetic sequences.
Yes.
Oh.
DNA. So say you know that there is a chance of like early childhood cancer in your family, or like it's going to be a given, you can have CRISPR like edit the sequence to kind of like cut that out.
Oh.
Or if you
like
want
through
blue-eyed
IVF.
child, you could have.
Mm-hmm.
So like they haven't really talked about how they're going to use it on humans, because I think it can really open up scary things, because you basically
Yeah.
can create somebody who I don't want to say impervious to like disease or things, but like you're basically taking all of the things that like make us humans and make life and like trying to
That
make
make
it
us
perfect.
vulnerable, let's
Yes.
say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I think it was originally created to prevent or to create plants that can resist pests and like diseases to help with crop growth and all that. But it's kind of scary.
Yeah, no kidding.
They did say at the end of that episode, though, which I thought it was pretty cool, that eventually we'll get to a place where we can create cities. Well, for one, plants growing on the sides of buildings and like even on the inside of your home, like plants as wallpaper are eventually going to be a thing.
That's cool.
And the plants will be able to tell us things like they'll change a specific color when they need to be, like when they need water or they need vitamins or whatever. And then plants like bioluminescent plants were a big thing in that episode too, which I thought were really cool, because if you can replace electricity with bioluminescent plants, can you imagine how cool that would be, just to have
That
like
would be really cool.
plants hanging and all this ambient light? Oh, it would be so cozy.
Can you turn them off?
I don't know.
Maybe just throw a sheet over them.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Wait,
Maybe.
if one of your plants could glow, which one would you want to glow?
Oh, my donkey tail.
Ooh, that would be a cool
Oh,
one.
That would be so gorgeous. Yeah.
I think that I really
Mhm.
like the idea of just like a basic pothos glowing, because it can be like string lights. You just drape it
Yeah.
along. I like that.
Cute. I kind of want my variegated obovata. Just I want the white parts to be glowing, you know, because that's like by the petiole, kind of like spreads out. That would be so cool.
Yes.
You got to get on CRISPR. Like it's
But
an
they
app.
get on CRISPR. But they showed this person and it was animated, but it was still kind of cool. Like this person walking down the street and these big palm trees. When it rained, the palm trees would they would be like kind of curled in, but they would open up and light up to create light. So it would get rid of street lights, no more street lights.
Oh, yeah.
And the leaves would open up and it would create a canopy for people walking under it. Like it would sense people coming and like it would open up so people wouldn't get wet. And then they would also have this illuminating light to see where they're going. And weird, but kind of cool.
Let's work on that kind of stuff. Like that is cool because it's benefiting
innovative
the environment and it's just like fucking cool.
Yeah, I mean, well, like you said, the kind of the plant, like I have seen that here with some of, not all of the new development, but there's been new development like in Scottsdale, like condos and stuff that are very like plants everywhere. The roof is a garden. Every balcony has like plants on the side of the building. And I do see other places doing that kind of architecture / city design, because at some point in time we removed every bit of nature from every single one of our cities.
Yeah.
And that's
New
bad.
York, concrete jungle.
Yes.
Because like when we were in Mexico, our tour guide, when we were going through the Mayan ruins, was like, we don't really have mountains in this area. So if you see like a tall hill, chances are that is ruins.
Pyramid? Oh, yeah.
And the thing that's baffling to me is like how, because there's like full on mature trees growing on top of these. Like when they discover them, there's like a whole tree, like it looks, you know, like nothing.
You have to go, don't you? You have to go.
Oh, that's okay. Someone keeps trying to call through. So I just, but anyway, that's wild to think about how after over so much time, like even layers of dirt can just build up to even create like a space that a tree could grow.
Yeah. Really quickly, I live near Arlington Heights, Illinois, and they have a racetrack there, and it's pretty famous now because the Chicago Bears football team are trying to like get their stadium to move there from the city, and they closed the racetrack down, and it looks so weird. It looks like something out of like the show This Is Us, because it was this concrete track and then like all these chairs and stuff, and they left it and plants completely took over it. It looks so weird and you can see it off the highway. So I look at it every time I drive past it and I'm like, I can't believe that was a racetrack. Yeah. It's so crazy to me. And just in like a year's time.
Bonkers.
That's crazy.
Nature finds a way.
Yeah, nature finds a way.
It does.
It's crazy. Like when I lived in Missouri, I was shocked by how fast the trees grew. Like there was like a bunch of like little oak trees all around the property, and I was like, oh, they're cute. Like, but Dan's like, no, but you need to cut them down because they will be massive trees and be very expensive to remove, like from the pasture.
Also, remember when you didn't know that grass grew back and you were fascinated by that?
Yes, I didn't know that grass blades changed colors.
You can't tell me. Yeah, she's like, you cannot tell me that this is going to be green again. You can't fucking tell me.
Holy shit.
And what did it do?
What's wrong? Oh.
Sorry.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Someone is hitting Adam up.
I sent headshots in for a model agency, and that was who called twice.
Adam, get off the phone.
No.
Hang up the phone.
Go. Call them.
Bye.
No,
Let me guys
I don't
see
even
it.
think it's that. Somebody was really
Bitch,
sweet,
I've been telling. I have been thinking.
Someone slid into my DMs, and they were just like, "Hey, I think you should be a model."
Checks, I'm telling you.
And I was like, I don't have the confidence or whatever. And
didn't I tell you? Didn't I slide into your DMs?
But then she's like, my friend does this thing for, and I was like, I can send you their information. So she did for this agency, and they were just like, apply online. And I was like, okay, I'll just send in a couple photos and just my name. We'll see what happens. I'm not going to get the money though. Before I take my clothes off, I'm gonna get the funds before
get that cash.
They see the peen.
Get that cash.
Oh,
get it.
You would do nudity?
I think you would.
I am shocked.
Based on what I know. No, just kidding.
No.
Just kidding.
Well, I think we would love to hear what you guys think the future of houseplants is going to be, or maybe you have looked into the neoplants and you have thoughts and opinions. But anyway,
comment on our most recent post.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we didn't really do a recap because season 8 is current season, but that's okay. We're coming back.
This is season 9, but season 8 just happened.
Oh shit! Yeah, you're right. Why do we screw that up all the time?
No, but I don't think a recap is necessary because it literally just happened.
One thing, guys, really quickly, I'm going to be posting throughout this week a little, what is it called? SpeakPipe link for you guys to send in messages for us to just kind of like go over Potted Together and its history and what your favorite part of Potted Together was. And we're going to share it next week. And that's going to be our episode next week, is sharing all of you guys' thoughts and stuff on Potted Together.
Yeah, so we would love for you to participate. That would mean a lot to us. And if you can, hopefully before next Wednesday or Wednesday this week.
Which is
Wednesday
what date?
This week.
December
3rd. So 4th. Well, hold on. December 4th at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time will be the final chance to submit.
Yeah. But we'd love to hear from you. You hear our voices all the time. We'd love to hear yours and we'd love to share it. And so the community can just have a little, warm, fuzzy cry.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna have a warm, fuzzy cry.
Yeah.
I already know it.
Yep.
Okay.
We are.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Love you. Bye.